Hey, Jeff Howard here at kite.com. We've recently been having some questions about how you install a bladder. It's either a strut bladder or a leading edge bladder or whatever it is. When you finish it off, which I mean at the tips, there are about two different methods that are used by every single company, and you've got to understand why. Now, this is a Nash kite, and this is pretty much used to be the standard in the industry, and it was the fold over method is what I call it. So if you look up inside of this tip, this is the tip of the leading edge, and it's also the tip of the struts. There's a Velcro in here, and once you undo that Velcro, you're going to get this flap. This is the flap. The reason for the flap, and every single kite has to have it. If they don't, they'd have some problems. Back in the day, I found some guys designing, and they had this issue, and then they realized why it was done this way. But you will see the bladder hanging out here. You want to match it at that flap tip. And when this flips over inside, it basically puts a fold in that bladder and locks it in there. The reason is when the bladder is deflated, it cannot slide back down inside of the leading edge. If it did, it will go down, relax down here, which we've seen some people reinstall and incorrectly install that leading edge of the tips, and the bladder falls back in, folds over, and when you inflate it, it basically stops, jams up, and blows out the tip of the bladder. So this is the fold over method. This is pretty simple. Just make sure you match the bladder at the end of the flap, fold it inside, and it will fill that void. Now, the other one a lot of people do not understand, I think it's F1, Slingshot, Ozone, is this zipper. You're going to get a zipper down here. Anytime you see a zipper, internally there has to be some way to attach it. So what they've done here in the Ozone side, Slingshot, is if you flip this in, now you don't have to do this when you install it, you can get your fingers down in here and feel for it, but I want to show it to you. Inside of here, down at the tip, is an elastic little band stitched across. If you look at the outside, you can see that stitching. Internally is this little elastic band right here. You can see that right in there. What you want to do is feel down inside of here, if you have the tip, and you get down inside of here, you want to grab that bungee, slip it under it, and make sure you pull a good little amount, probably a good 3 to 4 inches, and it will fold over. And you can see it's not going to come out of there. That's what keeps the bladder from falling back inside. So it's very, very important, no matter what kite it is, there has to be an attachment point at the tips. Now once that's folded back in there, you can see it's all down there. And when I pull on this wingtip, look here, you can see the stitching is right here. Internally, there's something in there to hold it. It's either a Velcro to stick it at the end, which is not the best. The fold over is the best. Somebody has put Velcro in these, and it relaxes back a little bit, and it can blow out that tip. Having this elastic, it folds itself back on it and completely fills that void at the end of the kite. Once that's done, zip it up, and you're ready to go. So make sure that any of the kites that you do, it's either a strut bladder or a leading edge, the tips have to be retained at the end. They have to be held there in some way. If there's not, give us a call, because you've got to have something down there, a Velcro, a sticky, or something. But most of them either have this bungee or they'll have the fold over method like that. Anyway, I just want to let you know, that's Jeff Howard here at kite.com to help you keep yourself on the water.